Well, hey, everybody, it's Adrian, KSM, another Thursday Thoughts. We've been going through the Psalms. We did Psalm 4, you should get a good night's sleep. Psalm 5, in the morning, you should talk to God and worship Him, and He'll surround you with favor like a shield. Today, it's an interesting thought. Psalm 6, and the thought today is this: how low can you go? I know that's a weird title, but I'm going to explain it. And actually what I'm going to use is the caption that's above Psalm 6. Those captions were given as an explanation for the song or directions for the song. Psalm 6 begins like this: for the director of music with stringed instruments according to Sheminith, a psalm of David. Now, here's a great question. What in the world is a Sheminith? No, I'm not speaking in tongues. No, I'm not speaking another language. It's Hebrew. And here's what Sheminith means. It's used 3 or 4 times in the Old Testament. It's used in Psalm 6 right here. It's used in Psalm 12. That's another example. And then there's another example of 1 Chronicles 15. Now, a Sheminith is this. In the Hebrew tradition, they believe that the Sheminith is the lowest octave that can be sung by a man. So it would probably be more of a monk type sound. Almost, I'm going to try to do it here. I don't know how good it's going to be on this, but it's almost like that kind of thing, like something. It's a low octave tone, the lowest that can be registered for a man singing or speaking. So a Sheminith was a gut kind of song. It was from deep in the heart. It was from deep within the person. And because of that, a lot of the Sheminiths were kind of lamentations, or they were expressions of deep emotion or anguish. So Psalm 6 is a Sheminith, and he says this. David says a lot of this in these Psalms. Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your wrath. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am faint. Heal me, Lord, for my bones are in agony. So, do you hear that? It's a lament. It's like David has done something wrong, and he's asking God for forgiveness. So he creates this Sheminith on this lower octave tone to say to God, I'm sorry, please have mercy on me. Now, this is very interesting because in 1 Chronicles 15, David is bringing the Ark of the Covenant back to Jerusalem. But they messed up the first time, brought it the wrong way, and God in his wrath killed a man when the Ark of the Covenant, when the oxen and the cart tilted and the Ark of the Covenant slid down. And the man grabbed the ark to try to stop it from going off, and it touched him, and God killed him. There was a command, an imperative that you were not supposed to touch the ark. So David got mad at God and said, what are you doing? I'm trying to bring the Ark of the Covenant back. But then he goes to the priest and starts reading the Old Testament and finds out they were doing it wrong. There's holes that are in the Ark of the Covenant on the top. I think 3 rings on each side, and they take long poles called staves, and the priests were supposed to push those through the holes, pick up the ark on their shoulders, and carry it that way. It wasn't supposed to be carried by oxen. So David said, we messed up. So he's kind of saying here, okay, Lord, I'm sorry, we did that wrong. Please don't be wrathful with us forever. Have mercy on us. And that's great about our God. We can go to him in forgiveness. We can ask for help. We can ask for mercy in a time of need. So Psalm 4, get a great night's sleep. Psalm 5, in the morning, give your stuff, your petitions, your requests to God. Listen to him because he's listening to you. Psalm 6, ask God for forgiveness when you messed up, and he will be merciful and kind. By the way, in 1 Chronicles 15, they had several different Hebrew terms for the words and the singing that they were doing. And one of them was the sons of Asaph and some other guys did a Sheminith. They did a psalm of praise as they were moving the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. Wow. You can give God whatever you're going through. He will listen to you. And then finally, at the end of the psalm, he says this, verse 9, the Lord has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord accepts my prayers. All my enemies will be overwhelmed with shame and anguish. They will turn back and suddenly be put to shame. Real quick, I want to give you a thought on enemies. And here's the thought on enemies. Your enemy is not that physical person that's coming against you. Your enemy is the spirit behind that person. So when you pray these psalms and you're talking about enemies, you're talking about the enemies that are without, that are influencing people, and even the enemies within, inside of us, the enemy in me. But David says, I've cried to you, you heard my prayer, you've given me mercy, and you're going to overwhelm my enemies. That's how low you can go. God bless you. Have a great week this week.